A majority veto in the United Nations Security Council would mean that decisions could be blocked not by a single permanent member, as is currently the case with the veto power of the P5 members, China, France, Russia, the UK and the US, but by a majority vote of Security Council members. Shifting to a majority veto system would have several advantages, as illustrated by historical events that have been influenced by the current veto structure. Preventing gridlock in humanitarian crises. One of the main issues with the current veto power is that it has often been used to block resolutions aimed at preventing or stopping humanitarian disasters. For example, Russia and China have repeatedly used their vetoes to block UNSC resolutions addressing the Syrian civil war, hindering efforts to sanction the Assad regime for human rights violations. A majority veto could allow a broader international consensus to overcome narrow geopolitical interests, potentially leading to more timely interventions in crises like Syria or the Rwandan genocide, where action was delayed. Reducing the power of national interests. The veto power has often been used by P5 members to protect their national interests rather than uphold global peace and security. For instance, the US has used its veto to shield Israel from condemnation or action over its treatment of Palestinians, often leading to international frustration and inaction. A majority veto system could ensure that resolutions are blocked only when a significant portion of the international community objects, making it harder for a single country to derail multilateral efforts for purely nationalistic reasons. Enhancing legitimacy of the UNSC, the current veto system has sometimes undermined the legitimacy of the Security Council. When major powers block resolutions widely supported by other members, it gives the impression that the UNSC serves the interests of the few rather than the global community. This perception weakens international trust in the UN. In 1999, during the Kosovo War, Russia blocked a resolution condemning NATO airstrikes despite broad support for the intervention. A majority veto could distribute the decision-making process more fairly, increasing the Council's credibility and making its actions appear more democratic and representative of global opinion. The ability of one country to block any resolution often discourages negotiation and compromise among Security Council members. For example, during the Cold War, the US and the Soviet Union frequently used their vetoes to block each other's initiatives, leading to paralysis on many global issues. A majority veto could force countries to engage in more genuine diplomacy, seeking support from a broader coalition rather than relying on a unilateral veto to shut down initiatives they oppose. A majority veto would likely result in more consistent and effective responses to international crises. For instance, in situations like the conflict in Yemen, where geopolitical interests of P5 members, especially the US and UK, have prevented the UNSC from taking meaningful action to address the humanitarian catastrophe, a majority veto could enable the broader international community to act in a more principled and consistent manner. This would help align the UNSC's actions with its founding purpose of maintaining international peace and security. The current system heavily favors the permanent members, giving them disproportionate influence. Non-permanent members, representing a wider range of regions and perspectives, are often sidelined in critical decisions. A majority veto system could empower these non-permanent members, ensuring that their voices are heard and that the Security Council reflects a broader range of interests and views, leading to more balanced decisions. In summary, historical events show that a single majority veto system would reduce gridlock, encourage compromise, enhance the legitimacy of the UNSC, and balance power between permanent and non-permanent members. It would prevent a single nation from holding global action hostage to its interests, leading to a more effective and responsive international governance system. After all, we are in the 21st century global human society, and our primary task should be to enhance the well-being of human society rather than the 20th century world order based on the might is right model.